Hi guys, it's your girl Z and Sin, and we're back with another video. And today we're reacting to 10 reasons why life is better in Europe than the USA. And we got this from How to Europe. The link will be in the description below if you want to see their full video without our input. So let's get into it.
While no place is perfect, Europe comes pretty close. From the incredible food to show-stopping cities, it's no wonder so many Americans dream of moving to Europe permanently. Today we'll show you 10 reasons why life is better in Europe than the USA. Number 10. European food traditions. While it varies so much from country to country, there's one thing we should all be able to agree on. European food is fantastic, even better than in the States. From fresh pasta in Italy to fondue in the Alps, Europe is full of food that will make anyone's mouth water, no matter how picky they are. Eating your way through Europe is a great way to experience the different flavors, ingredients, and cultural influences that make each country's cuisine distinct. There will definitely be some options that American travelers could think are strange, but the majority of them are excellent once you give it a shot. Who knew one day I'd become obsessed with escargot or frog's legs? And don't even get me started on the amazing coffee and wine, or we'll never stop talking. Number 9.
I can agree with that because I think even back home, like anything that's made from back home, Africa, Jamaica, Europe, just anywhere else but the US, the food is fresh. And it just tastes much better.
We were just talking about this yesterday, and I was saying to you, I don't like the chicken here because it doesn't taste the same way. That it's weird. It's hard to explain to somebody who lives here all their life. I'm like, okay, why your chicken tastes like this? I'm like, why, how?
Yeah.
What's it? What are you talking about? And the freshness, even after it's cooked, it's just different.
It's different.
So I did this video and I said I had to show Sin it because I'm so in love with this video because I'm like, I know everywhere have its ups and downs. Don't get me wrong. And I know everywhere have their, what you call it, they're good, they're bad. But when you compare it to where we're at and what I've experienced so far living here, I'd say I'll take that.
Yeah. And the rest of the world knows that too. And we even know that ourselves.
Yeah. No, there's some Americans that are buffoon that live in our bubble.
That's like the far extreme.
No, not even far extreme. Because some of them that just don't. They think this is it. When they just hone in on the country where they're at and they don't see anything else. How many times do you hear somebody say, "Is Africa this or
a country?"
Okay. A typical American.
9 out of 10. Like it's never a country.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Is Mexico a part of
the US? Yeah.
I'm like, so that's why I say that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But food, you can't go wrong with food. Wine, you can't go wrong with wine. Nah, baby, frog leg.
Amazing transportation. Transportation is faster, cheaper, and run way more efficiently in Europe. Europe is so well connected that it's much easier to get around despite it being about 20% bigger than the US. The engineering feats are world famous. Did you know that you could take a high-speed train going under the ocean from France to England? Or a train from Rome to Sicily that literally gets on a ferry? There's hardly even a need to get a driver's license in Europe. Even small towns are connected by bus or train. And of course, Europe is famous for budget airlines like Ryanair or EasyJet that can be mind-blowingly cheap. Not a fan of flying? Go green and travel Europe by train. Check out our other videos on European train travel.
Now you tell me.
Oh, y'all are living the life. That is so nice to go to another country that's like right next to you.
So, but the price, and you're not dying at the price. I'm like, what? You can travel from there to for that money?
That's really good. And for us, it's kind of sus because we're in Alaska, and we're closed off from everybody else.
Everything.
You can't go to Canada because you need a passport. If you don't have one, you can't go to Canada. If you're trying to go to even California, you need to take a flight.
Yeah, everything is a flight.
Everything's a flight
except if you're driving through Canada's border.
And you need a passport now.
To go through.
You have to go. Yeah,
it's crazy. But I'm like, the transportation system there is so amazing. Train, flights. But It's easy, it's accessible, and not only that, it's affordable.
Yes, and
every weekend you can jump and go somewhere. I'm like,
and I love that how the citizens of every nation, they're able to travel through other countries without like, because in Africa, if you're trying to go to another country, you need to get like a visa and all this stuff. And I feel like with Europe, it's much more easier to travel
from
through,
point A to point B without
all the hassle.
I guess it's just the ID. I'm assuming,
and then like in like the how you paid for your ticket. That's all.
That's
I'm
it.
saying. Yeah, let us know. We don't know, but that's what we think.
Listen.
Number 8, more time off. In case you haven't heard, they take their holidays very seriously in this part of the world. European culture and customs are drastically different in each country. There are literally thousands of festivals around Europe celebrating anything and everything you can think of, each of them bringing people together to celebrate and honor various aspects of their history, religion, and regional identity. What better way to get a taste of a country than attending a festival? Couple this with the generous amount of paid vacation Europeans receive, 4 weeks on average, and you've got a completely different lifestyle. This also means more time to spend with your family and just to live life outside of work. Also, because of how easy it is to get around to different countries, there are so many places to explore. Number 7, quality.
Listen.
You guys know how to spend your holidays well. You guys know where to travel. You guys definitely know how to have a good time. 4 weeks paid vacation.
Paid. I can't get over that.
In a job in the US, let's say if you get a good job. Because I've looked at some jobs and like for like their package, like their benefits package for 1 year, after a year, like your first year working in the company, you only get like 15 days off guaranteed for vacation that first year.
It's not paid. It's not fully paid.
No, sometimes not fully paid. You need to have PTO for that.
Yeah.
Or else it's unpaid.
But 15 days and
it's on a year?
After a year of working, you have to be sealed in.
Yes, you have to be sealed in to get that.
This is the messed up part about it. Even if that's the case, vacation, say you want a certain time of the year, based on being in that so-called good job, you want a certain time of the year. Who has seniority to get that pick over you?
Yes, that's a real thing.
Not only that, you're guilted in still taking that time.
Yes.
Even though you're not really necessarily getting paid to be off time because you don't want to lose your work. 1, 2, you don't want to have a work pile up for when you get back. Yeah. The unpredictability is ridiculous.
It is. And with that senior thing you're talking about, if you want to apply for, time off, like where I used to work at my past coworkers, they would give like a notice a year prior to their vacation.
Ridiculous.
A whole year. Because that senior thing is so real. And I just lost my train of thought about I was just put in something. I totally forgot. But it's just ridiculous, like we've done a video on this too, on we forgot
workers' rights.
We'll link it in. Workers' rights. We'll definitely put that in for you guys to check out.
It's crazy
over here. And I think you commented before that. Here in the US, we let companies decide that. While in Europe, I think it's governed by the government.
Yeah, it's mandated that they get time off, but here it is not. It's more company decides whether or not, and majority of the time you don't get it. We can go on and on with this one because this is a hotbed topic, and I'm like, it is messed up that this. I'm tired of saying the freest and the best place on earth treats its citizen this way. It's messed up.
It is messed up.
Quality of life.
Yes.
In the States, we live life at 1,000 miles an hour. Between the commuting, the long hours at work, and the lack of vacation time, there's less time to relax. And a lot of people put off traveling until they're retired. But where's the fun in that? Europeans, on the other hand, are masters of the work-life balance, and it means the world to them. It's no wonder the French are putting up such a stink over their retirement being pushed back 2 years. After moving to Europe and getting to know people on a personal level, you get the feeling that they work to live, not live to work. This means by moving to Europe, you're likely to have more vacation time, shorter work days, and more time to enjoy life. In many countries throughout Europe, businesses literally shut down so employees can have a rest or spend some extra time with their family during the day. Who wouldn't want to live more and work less? Number 6.
Wow. I think that's beautiful. For that to be offered, like you're less stressed about working. You're less stressed about bills. There's more of a balance in life. Like she says, you're living to
work.
You had it right. I'm gonna say it up.
You live to work to live and live to work.
Yes.
So the opposite. There's the opposite of what it is here in the US. There's no work-life balance here.
No, there's really not.
You work like a hog. One thing she said, which makes sense to me, when she said, majority of people work and they wait until retirement.
Yes.
And when they get to retirement, you cannot enjoy that retirement. You skin over and pop off and leave that money or whatever it is for somebody else. You do not enjoy. I see it so many times. I'm like, it is so messed up. Sometimes when I walk into these stores and I see these old people at the door, I'm like, oh my God, how would I feel if I see my grandma at this age working, trying to make ends meet? Just, you understand me? Mm-hmm. They cannot enjoy anything because the retirement is not enough to even for them to live on.
It's not.
There's no enjoyment. You get old and gray and you're tired and you work all these years and you give so much to a company, and at the end of the day you cannot enjoy your older years.
Yeah,
because you're tired.
Yes, and especially with my generation, I feel like we want more of a work-life balance. We don't want to retire when we're 60 because when you're at that age, you just want to sit down in the couch and watch some TV. The thought of flying 10 hours is just mind-boggling. Your body is aching. You're tired.
Exactly.
Look at the old. That's what I'm like. It was nap time.
And it's sad. That's how it is.
It's unfortunate. I feel like your 20s, your 30s, and 40s, your 50s, and even your 60s.
50s, you're 30.
Girl, tell me these 50-year-olds. Loving y'all. Oh God, I am loving the 50-year-olds. They got money. They go. Oh, skin looks good. Money right. Everything's good. Yeah. The 50s and new 30s. 50.
I was dreading
the older generation. Oh my goodness, I'm here for it. I can't wait till I'm 50 because I'm gonna be like, I cannot wait. Your kids are grown. You got money. You can do whatever you want.
You
travel, see the world, have fun, and you're not
instead
so
of
stressed.
bottled down behind a computer or whatever it is, slaving away to make somebody else richer. And that's how I see it.
It is.
Guys, I know we're passionate about this one. Number 6,
healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
Between the amount of walking you'll do, accompanied by the more natural food options available, it's significantly easier to live a healthy and active lifestyle in Europe. Just look at the European breakfast. Humble but flavor-packed pastries and espressos replace breakfast sandwiches and giant sugary coffees. And with all the street food vendors and bakeries selling fresh, less processed treats, you'll naturally avoid the familiar fast food chains that are prevalent in big cities. Although it is pretty entertaining to see Euro versions of McDonald's that sell beer and wine.
Oh!
It's worth mentioning that Europeans are less into snacking in the first place. Restaurant portions are generally much smaller, which is why it's so rare to find takeaway boxes. Combine all of that with the great healthcare systems and cost of living in Europe, and you can see why they're able to live such a healthy, enviable lifestyle. Number 5, low
envy indeed. Mm-hmm. Envy indeed. Mm-hmm. No sugarcoating it.
I've always loved the open markets because it takes me back home with all the I
love that because it takes me back going downtown in Jamaica. I'm like, or in the countryside. I'm like, yes. They're going to the market, all these fresh fruits and vegetables
and meat too, just out there.
Everything is
You bargain with it, like lower this price for me. I want this. Oh my goodness.
It is.
Back home is just
It's different. It's different. You'll find a market here, but it's not the same. You don't get the same feel.
It's not the same.
And then the prices are through the roof because they're grown locally.
Because it's healthy. Yeah.
But when she showed the portion size, you'd be like, oh, damn, that's messed up. When you look at the American
portion size, I need 2 of those. One and enough, I need 2.
It's like when you look at the European plates, it's like, that ain't gonna fill me up.
Yeah.
But I watched a video and it talked about how they eat. It's not, they don't just hurry up and eat.
Yeah.
They sit, eat, have a conversation.
For 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours, y'all.
And she's right. For American it's quantity over quality.
Yes.
And for European side, it is the quality over the quantity.
Yes.
More natural, more refined. You understand what I mean? Down here, don't get me wrong, America has its good. I don't want you guys to come for me because a lot of times I see people in the comment section, every country have, I know that. I'm aware of that. I'm just saying that when you, can you imagine wine and beer in a McDonald's? Listen to me.
I know I've seen some like Korean, Japanese McDonald's, and we're like, this ain't what we have over here. The food looks good. Looks really good over there.
And they don't have so much selection too. And you ever notice that?
Yeah.
You guys' selection is not as well. I want pickle, take the pickle off, put some tomato, take the tomato off, remove the bun, add the American. You don't get what you see is what you get. You order, you go. It's crazy. It's crazy, but I love it. I love it.
Lower cost of living. Even though the euro is slightly stronger than the US dollar, there's one thing that can't be debated. The cost of living in Europe is much cheaper than the USA. Sure, cities like Paris and London aren't cheap, but neither is San Francisco or New York. European salaries are much lower than American ones, but they pay more in taxes, which contributes to their fabulous healthcare and education system. This makes the smaller salaries feel much more livable, and if you're making an American salary, you'll probably notice that certain things like hotels, food, and transport are surprisingly affordable, especially in Eastern Europe. Number 4.
That would make sense. Because, as an American, when you, I was looking at Airbnbs, out in, Europe, and I see those prices, I'm like, wow, that's expensive.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because they're like, what? Oh my goodness. My mind is like, slipping.
I'll help you.
You're not helping. It's in their, their currency. I'm just saying their currency. I'm trying to think of in their currency when you do the conversion. The
US pound against the US dollar.
Yeah, and some other currencies, but the US dollar is it's much more lower.
Yeah, that's what
it is. Yeah, it's no, even now recently it's much lower.
Yeah,
it's a huge
even
difference.
The Canadian is more than the
what?
Not the Canadian. The Cayman Islands is more than the US.
What?
Yeah.
An island?
Yeah.
Girl, the US is embarrassed right now.
Yeah, it is. You didn't know that?
No, I did not know that. That's embarrassing. Oh my goodness. I remember my mom just recently we were sending back home, sending money to Germany. Just the conversion alone killed us.
Yeah.
Because it was $495 something in their money. It was nearly $600 for us to send that amount to them. Yeah, so just the conversion alone, I'm just hey. In my mindset, that's what I thought. I thought wow, it was expensive to live over there. But the way she explained it, it's actually pretty affordable.
It makes sense. Theirs is lower, more salaries lower, but it's a comfortable way of life because you spend based on what you have. There's no necessary conversion going on. Not only that, they do, and I'm aware that you guys pay a higher tax.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, for that higher tax, I'll take that higher tax any day when I don't have to go and sit down and worry about getting into debt for healthcare, schooling,
and their education, which is good. It's for the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does our taxes do?
Can't speak, but
okay, my lips are sealed. Let's leave it at that.
Higher education. Education is a completely different experience in Europe, with the most noticeable contrast being the actual cost of attending a university. Colleges are very inexpensive in most places in Europe, and some countries even make it completely free to enroll. While most young people in the US graduate with instant debt, countries like Germany and Sweden have chosen to put their tax money towards free universities for all. This alone makes the cost of living in Europe cheaper than the US. My one-year master's program in Paris cost 300 euros. If you'd be interested in seeing a video about how to study in France, comment the code word master. Number 3.
I'm sorry.
She's passionate over here, guys.
Guys, I got 5 kids. And I'm stressing.
Yeah.
I'm so stressing because I went to college and I didn't pay a dime because I used the military spouse thingy.
Good.
That's different.
Yeah.
Because I cannot see myself pumping out all that money under my pocket to go learn something. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just can't. So I see it and I'm like, we have 5 kids. How much that GI bill going split between all of us? It only can cover one. Yeah. We need to run. These kids, I tell my kids, I said, think about studying abroad, because Mama is thinking about living abroad. And because yeah.
No, you're right. And pick something that makes sense of where studying college, do not study art.
Yeah.
And one of the dumbest things you could do. I'm like, what's the point you go to college to study art for what?
And you're not using it.
You're not. And recently on the news, they're like, now the U.S. is going after student loans. They're like, if you have not paid your student loans in years, we're going to garnish your wages. They're not playing.
Crazy.
It is. And I saw on TikTok, some of these people's students are like over $100,000.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is like, what the hell?
What I don't understand and what I cannot understand with this system here in the U.S. is like, all right, we have our kids. They say they are the future. Why are you not investing in them?
Yes.
Why can't you take the time out? All right, even if you don't touch healthcare, because we know it's $1 billion or $1 trillion or pharmaceutical stuff when it comes down to that. Even if you don't touch that, why don't you use some of those taxes to go towards education? They're cutting corners, they're cutting teachers' salary. I'm sorry, guys, this is just pissing me off.
Every year
they're cutting this, they're cutting this program, they're cutting this free stuff for these kids, and they're cutting this, and I'm like, okay. And then these 20, 18, 19-year-old walking out of college, $50,000, $60,000, $100,000, trying to go for their doctorate and add on another $500,000 and that. I'm like, what in the world is going on?
Not worth it.
And then you say you're the greatest and the best and you care for your citizens. I am over it. I'm sorry.
No, she has some really good points.
European culture and history.
Man.
As a melting pot for almost every country in the world, America is filled with plenty of history and diversity. Yet, as far as history goes, so much of what we have in the U.S. originally comes from Europe. The food, languages, traditions, and many of the very names we go by originate from across the Atlantic Ocean. When you consider the fact that American history only goes back a few hundred years, seeing architecture that's thousands of years old in Europe is quite remarkable. It's common in Europe to see establishments that are significantly older than the whole United States. Can you imagine if each U.S. state had its own language, culture, and foods for you to embrace? There are so many things we love about this region, but the rich history and diversity are truly something to behold. Number 2.
Can't beat that.
You can. Jeez.
Multicultural, the diversity, the rich history, the everything about it.
Yeah.
When you take a step back and look, you'll be like, I know that's right. Your little mind cannot comprehend how. Because even the other day I was sitting down and I'm looking at Stonehenge and I'm like, how the heck those things get there? That's the thought of it.
You're the biggest mystery. We still don't know.
I'm like, then when I look at some of the castles and then dating back to, I'm like. And this is I'm just talking about the UK, not even outside it. And then when I'm looking at Sweden, and I'm like, are you serious? I was looking at the Netherlands, and I'm like, oh my word, the history. I did look at Croatia too, and I'm like,
oh, it's beautiful.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
It's but you don't have to go. This is the thing. The US is huge. It has a vast landscape. We understand that. And it has rich history as well. But when you step back and you look at outside of the US and look at Europe and you look at certain things with them, I'm like, how? When? Where? And you don't have to drive from Timbuktu to Timbuktu to I know she always love here when I say that. But you understand, you don't have to drive from Timbuktu to see something. You're just driving up your road, you see a castle on the side. You're just driving there, you see a ruin, something. It's not far, in far proximity from each other. I'm like, Jesus.
We don't have castles over here. We got nothing. Like, besides like some nature sites to see, but we don't really have.
Yeah, we have the red this and all of that. But
we don't have you guys' rich culture. We don't have that here.
We don't have it.
We don't.
The history, and the diverse. Yes, the US is multicultural. It's diverse with different people coming from all over. But it's different. It's because it's to me it's like in a smaller hub with the European region. It just crammed together the food. All right, we can go on and on and on.
Restaurant etiquette. Things you may take for granted in the US are not always free or even available in Europe. Sure, you won't get complimentary ice water at a restaurant, and you might find yourself paying to use bathrooms, but what you will get is a slow, sacred meal experience where you're encouraged to take time to savor each dish without feeling rushed out. A 3-course meal might sound fancy for Americans, but it's completely common in Europe. You might also be surprised that your waiter won't pop in to see how your food is, or even bring you the bill unless you ask for it. But the trade-off is that you won't have to calculate a 20% tip afterwards. Tipping is a less prominent tradition in Europe, although you still need to do your homework and research from country to country. Of course, when in doubt, you can always show your appreciation by leaving a couple euros. Be sure to check out last week's video, Top 10 Culture Shocks Americans Will Have in Europe, to see what other customs are different. Before we begin,
don't talk about the tipping culture here in the US.
But you guys have really good etiquette. I really enjoy your etiquette. Very, very, very proper. Oh my goodness. I just love their etiquette. It's something I definitely want to learn. Yeah, I definitely want to apply that. So I can eat more proper, just be very poised.
And for me, it's not even just about eating with the European side. It's the quality time that they spend when they're out eating. Because they pointed that out, and I saw that in a few other videos. It's you're not rushed to eat, to stop yourself and run through the door. It's quality time. You're having a conversation, you're eating. So a 3-course meal, because you're spending 2-3 hours in a restaurant, just eating small bites, having conversation. And I can understand why they are not so fat. And then their tipping culture is not as bad. But remember, our American workers work for tip because that's a part of their payment as paid, and they're paid well in that area. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at it and if you compare it, I can understand why an American will come. Are you okay? Do you need something else? Okay, because they need to turn over another table to get somebody else in to give them money.
Yes. So
it's so different. We'll go in this.
Yes.
With majority of the stuff. But the way on a hole in the fork and I do everything else, I'm for that.
The number one reason why life in Europe is better than in the US. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year.
Yep.
Number 1, Europe is fun.
Yes.
Europeans know a thing or two about how to enjoy life. And since they're less preoccupied by the stress of life, work, and cost of living, they're generally happier.
Yep.
And who doesn't want to go somewhere people are happy? Combine this with all the beautiful places and exciting year-round activities, there's simply no shortage of fun to be had in Europe. Whatever your interests are, from summers along the Mediterranean Sea to winter skiing in the Alps, you'll never find yourself bored in Europe or far from welcoming people. And if you're like me, you might not ever want to leave.
Oh, something.
So, have we convinced you that Europe is better than the US? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching How to Europe. See you.
Wow, guys, that was a really good video. Really good. Honestly enjoyed it.
That's a nice video.
It is. We definitely visit Europe. Definitely. There's so much to see.
So much to do.
Yeah, so much to do.
So much to eat. So much to drink.
I heard that somewhere. So much to eat, so much to drink. I don't know if it's a song or I don't know what.
Don't. That's my slam.
That is?
The history, the food, the culture. Everything is there.
Everything.
Everything is here too. It's going to cost you though, boy.
It is.
Affordability, accessibility, and what else? Afford, access,
and fun.
And fun. What was that?
And fun. What fun?
Listen, when you sit here and you listen and you watch, you be like, why are we here? A lot of times when you sit and you watch these videos, like, why are we here in the US? You know, the healthcare, the education system, especially for those who have kids or young people who want a better way of life. It just makes you think.
You know why I smiled when you said that? Because like, oh, this is the mom tone. Like, we gotta get serious, y'all. We got serious.
Yeah, it is. Because I watched this. Like I said, I watched it and I had to show a scene because I'm like, this just doesn't add up. It just doesn't. It's sad.
Yeah,
it is.
All we can do is ask for a better US for our children who know a better US.
Did you just say that out to your mom?
Yeah,
it ain't gonna happen. You can wishful thinking.
Here's the thing. I'm not so much of a
thinking.
They are doing. I have to give the US some. Like you have to give them list. Like they are doing some. Well, right now it's a hot. I can't really speak for the US right now because right now it's a hot mess. But
you just ate your words away.
No, right now. But there's one thing I saw in the news. I'm like, this is good. I think they're taking out the coloring dyes on some certain foods. That they're finally doing that. That is so for one good thing I can give them about. The rest, trash. Can't speak on it. I really can't. But the one good thing they have done is so much they want to change a bit their food. So I'll give them that.
Cut down the fast food, please. It ain't happening. Every crevice and corner and every turn.
I mean, we've been asking. I saw a TikTok video. Someone's asking for like fast food pasta. Like we got.
That's what I'm saying. Every
fast food. The convenience.
That's it, and that's one of our downfalls as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's in our culture for so many years. It's hard for us to just break that off. It's part of the U.S. I'm sorry, they can't get rid of that.
It all boils down to the individual, to the person. It's a matter of choice. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm cooking. I cook yesterday. I cooked today. I cooked the day before. I can't help it.
But sometimes have a break. Go to a restaurant. What you do? Yeah,
that's different.
Well, that's the average. Well, we can't. But we have to ask the average American. We're not the average American.
No, we're not.
And we're not.
Yep. I can't believe you threw that one in there.
We're not the average American. We can't really relate.
Listen, she gets it treaded in the waters. We're not supposed to be treaded in. It's your girls. I'm feeling myself. I put some big braids in my ear, guys.
And I got my hair done.
And she got hers done. So you know what?
Yeah,
we're feeling ourselves. Yeah.
Oh,
Love you guys. Don't forget to hit the like, hit the share, and hit the subscribe button and keep watching.
Yeah.
We really, really appreciate you checking out the videos and leaving your thoughts in the comment section. We'll see you in another video.
Bye.